What's up, everybody? Kyle Chris back with another deck update video, and I'm going to go over the official list that I played for the PPG qualifier, the second one that was the last weekend. I had a lot of fun. The matchups that I got, I guess, weren't the matchups I was looking for Shinron, and I was basing it off of just a lot of the ratios and a lot of things that people were playing in the last tournament and the tournaments before that. I didn't get matched up against any of the matchups that I wanted to, unfortunately. First round I played against Majin Vegeta. I think his name was Trevor, I believe. We ended up splitting 1-1. I won game 1. He won game 2. We tied for the third one because obviously Shinron games go very, very long. They can go very, very long. Second round I played against Yellow Gotenks. I think his name was Armani, maybe. And that matchup does not bode well for Shinron. Yellow Gotenks with the 7-drop is just able to KO any of my dragons and negate their skills, so I don't get the draw off of them. It just wasn't a very good matchup for Shinron. So very strange. I had to play against Yellow in my second matchup. After that, since I was already had one tie, one loss, I just dropped. There was no way for me to get top 8. At that point, you kind of have to win out after your first loss or tie. So, but regardless, I had fun. I learned a lot, and kind of the death to this form of Shinron, because I think going in the next format, I'm going to be playing something different overall leader-wise, but with Shinron, we're definitely have a different deck idea. So we'll go kind of into what the my ratios and stuff was. If you guys watch my channel before, you guys know I run the 1-star and the 7-star. 7-star ended up not doing really well for me today, and I think a lot of it had to do with me just not being able to see the big drops. So I ran 3 of the 2, 4 of the 1, and then I ran a 2-1 split of these here. And I think in the future, I think this archetype is still really good. It's still very mana efficient. It just the meta I don't think calls for it. I think it's too easy to kill the 2-drop. This card here is great. It's a 20k dual attacker, and this card is amazing. It's a 15k double strike that can tap a battle card or a unison when it comes into play. So having multiple of these in the deck actually may be pretty useful. So maybe in the future, maybe I'll run 3 of these and 1 of these, or a 4-2 split or something, because this card here is actually really, really good. So that's the 7-star package. 4 of all the 1-star ball Shinron archetype. Just because if you're playing this deck right now without the set 12 support, this is still the best the best chain. But yeah, the fact that this was able to get popped by the Yellow Gotenks player, him being able to negate the skill, so I don't get to play out a 1-star, I don't get the draw 2, and the Majin Vegeta player was playing Black Mass Saiyan, which does hurt, because when you play the 1-star ball out, if you want to play it out, you have to drop 2. So it ended up, like I said, that matchup was a little more manageable, but the Yellow Gotenks player just kept tapping all my stuff and then getting rid of this guy. It was just really, really hard to work around that. The last Shinrons we run in the deck, so 2 of those for 2 of the ice for utility, 3 of the haze for also utility. The ice you can use to search out a star ball to play it on turn 1. It also can tap down a card for 2 energy, and then this is your combo piece. I will, whatever Shinron deck I run, I'm probably gonna run this as a 3 or a 4 of, even if I'm not running the haze engine, just because you can combo with it and then combo another Shadow Dragon and kill something in rest mode. Out of the games that I recorded, you'll see me do this quite a bit. It is very useful. So we run a 3-2 split with those, and then we run the Shinron Secret Rare because I don't have Cell. I think this is still pretty good for this archetype. I mean, this card is very underrated. Just being able to come in, has deflect, can't be removed by skills, and now it's a 35k swing every turn. That can restand off your leader, and you can block with it multiple times too. So that is the dragon package. My favorite card in the entire deck, this may be one of my favorite cards in yellow in general now, is the Unison of Fury Vegeta. Being able to +1 by tapping this or another card and then minusing 1 to force your opponent to not be able to attack with any battle cards greater than their current energy is fantastic. Even in the yellow matchup, they play Bardock's, they use Union Fusions, they play out Bergamos. They can't swing with any of that kind of stuff. But currently in the meta, Dark Broly, Red Broly, Gotenks are kind of the 3 top tier decks, and all of them have very high chains or fusion targets. So being able to use this to stop them from attacking. Sure, they can play them out and do all this stuff, but they can't swing with them, which makes this card extremely valuable. The -3 is pretty cool too, where you can tap an energy, it gains 5k, dual attack, and double strike. But the +1, -1 is just kind of the idea with this deck. And with this deck, you can tap one of the balls. So you can tap the ball with its front effect, and then pitch the ball to activate its effect, because then the card comes in rest mode. I mean, the card comes in active mode because it's a new card. It's pretty useful. Maybe my second or third favorite card in the deck is the Poutine. Kind of wish I ran this at 3 because I didn't see it as much as I wanted to. But you sit this card on board when they play a battle card using a skill, or you activate a counter. You can tap a card. Very strong. Comes in for free when you tap a card anyways. And we have various ways of doing that in the deck. Very good staple for yellow. The only extra cards that we run in the main deck, Flying Nimbus, 3 of them. Kind of wish I ran 4 just to see it more. Because I saw it, generally with Shin Shinran against something like Majin Vegeta, or even, just a spamming board like the Gotenks player I played against. Seeing 2 of these in a game would have been great. I only saw 1, maybe less against Gotenks, but it probably would have saved me. It probably would have won me a game. But it just shuts off all their battle cards. They get 1 more swing. It's awesome when you can negate a leader swing or a unison swing with this, and then they haven't attacked with battle cards yet. So then they can only attack with 1 battle card. Works out really well. 3 Vegeta counterplays. I'm starting to like this card more and more. I think it's creeping up in pricing. It's like $10 now. It's really good. Yellow should be playing this card without a question. Being able to tap something that's coming in, and now you have a 14k blocker on board. Swell. Very good card. Wish it was more than 14k power. Like, maybe if it was like 19k, it'd be insane. But you know what? Can't always have the good stuff. 3 Zarbon to restand the 9 drops. This card will end up getting switched out for the Oceanus dragon that does the same exact thing, but instead you have to burst the top card of your deck. That card's better because you can play it out with your leader ability, and you can search it off your leader ability. So why not run that one instead? 4 Zamasu super combos, and 4 Maki Kabura. I actually did not like the Maki in this deck. Maybe not at 4 of. It did end up winning me a game. It almost won me a second game. It almost won me a game against a Gotenks player. Using the -4 to be able to take a card. It makes the deck run really slow. And I think that's the problem, is that I feel like the deck, you have to see this card turn. Yeah, you'll turn 4. If you have this, you play it. And I don't like that of having to play this on turn 4. I would love to be able to just kind of awaken on my own. But you awaken at 3 life, which is kind of the problem. If you awaken at 4 life, it'd be a little bit different. But 3 is just a little low, so it's kind of a must for this variation of Shin Shinran. I think maybe coming in the future, people won't be running this because you're gonna force yourself to get down to 3 life anyways to be able, playing a little more aggressively. And then the last card in the deck was Fu. Obviously this card is great, being able to shut off everything on the board and in your opponent's hand for your turn and their turn, and it's a 30k double strike. At that point, you can probably just win the game if you play Fu. Now for the side deck, I sided everything that would be against the main field. So like unexpected turn works against Red Broly, works against Vegex. Didn't see either one of those. Topo, which was for the Shin Shinran mirror, because I figured people would be playing Shin Shinran. Nope, never saw them. Other than that, it's not a good card. For 5 energy against yellow, or against green or blue, it dies instantly from counterplays. Mask Identity. Very, very good card. Very, very good card. Yellow decks need removal, so every yellow deck should be running at least 1 or 2 of these. I just can't fit them in the main deck. Chi-Chi was going to be against Soul Striker or Baby. Again, didn't see either one of those. There was a Trunks in the top cut, which would have been cool to play against Trunks, but nope. 2 Kami. This is for Vegex again. Could work against even green Gotenks to be able to clear all his blockers and tokens, or blue players again using a Boony, but again, never came up. 2 Release from Evil. I kind of wish I would have main decked this card. It probably would have won me a game, but this was also for Green Gohan, which there was, I think, 1 or 2 reboot Gohans in the tournament. This just, you could just blank their leader so they don't get the restand, they don't get their triple strike, they don't get all that stuff. It's really, really, really good card. It doesn't get as much credit for it because yellow's just not super strong yet, but in the future I think this card will end up going up. 1 Matado. You guys will see I run this card in almost all of my yellow decks. The only deck I'm probably not going to run this in is Mecha Frieza, just because you have access to free extra cards. So this is not being a battle card counterplay, not so good for Frieza. But this is your way of getting around Xenocell. When they play Xenocell, you play this, and then they puts it in rest mode. Sure, they rip 3 cards from your hand, but they can't swing at that 40k dual attack quad strike broken card. And the last card for the side deck is my little spice that I run. I'm sure people will start playing this more if small weenies cards with barrier become more prevalent in the meta. But this is a pure counter to AOD. So what this card does is it's a -1. It's activate 1 yellow. If your leader's yellow, you pitch this card from your hand, you draw a card, and you choose 2 of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier and minus them by 5k. So when they play their little Bibbidi Agent of Destruction Overseer guy, you can use this to pop it. You can use this for Vegex to pop all of their pseudo combos, their blockers, their Harus. Other than that, it's not super relevant. If Slug ever becomes a thing, you can pop Wings. There's a few different things you can use it for, but for yellow, this is good removal because it gives you a red, almost a red source of removal, but you have to have a yellow leader. So I believe this card came out in the Surge expansion with the RIP, the Goku Surge leader, the red yellow one. Very, very good card. I think yellow should run it if we start seeing the small guys being relevant in the meta. But that's what I ran. Overall, I think I'm a little Shinron out, so I'm happy that set 12 is basically this week. I'm gonna be able to play some new stuff. We'll be back with a different variation of Shinron going into the future. And maybe we'll bring back some form of control Shinron in the future maybe as well. So we'll see. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.